Scotland is a nation of towns. From Lerwick to Gretna, they are woven into our nation's fabric. For so many of us, our towns are not just places. They are the places we call home. They are the places we raise our families and meet our friends. They are the places we work, where our neighbours go above and beyond to be there for us when we need them most. Where innovation is breaking new ground in how we live better, healthier and happier lives. So many people are doing so much to make our communities and neighbourhoods stronger and more sustainable. Localism will be at the heart of our post-pandemic world. Our towns are not simply a proud part of our past, they are our future.
Welcome to our Scotland Loves Local Awards 2021. Now, the pandemic, of course, brought a lot of bad, but there was also some good that came out of it, in the sense that we started to appreciate what was around us, things that were local to us. I got to know lots more people in our village than ever before because, of course, we were locked down and we were in our local areas more, and we got to connect with nature, wildlife in our areas, and also connect with our local shops and the essential shops that had to stay open to make things possible for us. The communities came together to look out for each other and get those essentials. And it was great to see that those shops were staying open and they became our friends as well, a vital part of our community. And we all discovered, didn't we, the shops that we didn't even know were in our local area. It's great to hear the hairdressers is busy once again. Gosh, hairdressers, remember when you couldn't get your hair cut? So pleased we can now. Mind you, it does need a trim. And also cafes as well, they became such a hub, didn't they? It was one of the first places that we were all able to get back together with friends and family and enjoy a cuppa. Talking of a cuppa, I fancy getting one. I'm going to pop in here and get one. And while we've all been desperate just to get back out and enjoy seeing each other again, it's great to see people having a wee blether. Keep on blethering, don't worry. Stop. Businesses have had to change quickly and come up with ideas so they can stay open for people to come out and enjoy, like the screens here, takeaways. I wonder how much of that's going to change again. And Nicole here, wearing your mask, I don't know how you can do that all day. It must be roasting. But it's great to see because this is a community hub, people coming together, and also I suppose we were all locked in either on our own or with our partner, and let's face it, it's good to get a wee blether with somebody different, isn't it? Nicole, can I have a wee latte with soya milk? It's going to be difficult, soya milk. And we've managed to weather that storm so far, and I suppose we just hope that that's the worst of it over now. But what today is all about, it's about celebrating the success, the places, the people that make our local communities such a success and such a delight to be around. I can't wait until you hear the stories. Oh, it's so good to be in, especially after that wee cuppa and warm up. Our first award is Innovative Town. Now, of course, innovation is something which Scotland is known the world over for. In the past, all those inventions we've come up with and all the green ones ahead of us. And it's something our communities have really needed more as we encourage people to choose local, find new uses for our town centre buildings and reignite our high streets. This award, sponsored by Comms World, recognises that. Let's meet our finalists. Our first one, Creative Crieff and Radio Nairn. This youth-led community radio station, launched at the end of May, serving Strathearn and Strathallan, has become a community hub promoting local businesses and economy, as well as providing jobs for two young producers aged under 25 and paid a real living wage. Kilmarnock Business Association and East Ayrshire Council. The work done to roll out the East Ayrshire gift card in Kilmarnock and surrounding towns has not only been credited with bringing a significant boost to the local economy, but also helping families to buy the likes of school clothes for their children, building on the work of Kilmarnock's town centre team to support the area's businesses. Next up, it's Dunbartonshire Chamber of Commerce and Milngavie Town Centre bid. Now, this has been highlighted as a great example of the power that collaboration brings. This entry's digital Dunbartonshire campaign during the COVID-19 pandemic galvanised a range of communities supporting the ethos of Scotland Loves Local campaign. Highlights included more than 550 hours of digital support and mentoring from businesses and supporting a new eco-delivery business covering Milngavie and Bearsden. Here we go, the big moment. The winner is Creative Crieff and Radio Nairn. I'm delighted that we can now hear a little more about their work.
So this was born as a way to communicate with people here, to get them involved with what's going on in the community and act as the catalyst for other things to start happening around here too.
But it's a very creative place that we are based in, and we want to enhance that and be the hub of that and show that the community, we are for the community but by the community also at the same time.
It's so positive, and to, especially us and early on in our careers, to see that something that we've worked so hard on for only 6 months has been recognised in like a country-wide, event. Categories like that, it's just so nice to hear, and it's because it's such a community-driven project.
And just judging by the responses we've had all sorts of people from all walks of life coming and interacting with us, and it's really good to see that the community is receptive to it.
We started online, being heard online, so we're quite easily accessible, because obviously most people have at least an internet connection, and it's just nice for people to have that, and especially with our presenters, they're so personable, and when they're on air, it's like they're speaking to one-on-one with people, and it's just so lovely to listen when we're just sitting through here and we hear anyone who's doing their show. It's just lovely to hear.
So it's completely put a lot into perspective that our hard work over the past 6 months has came to fruit.
Next up is Creative Town, sponsored by Creative Scotland. Now, over the years, I've been to Shetland and Orkney, the Western Isles, the Borders, and Dumfries and Galway and Ayrshire. So I've been to all corners of the country, and what I've found in that time is we've got so many great people in our communities, our villages, our towns. They're all working together to try and make things better. And there's great talent brimming over in many of these areas. And that talent may be found in our theatres, our music venues. It might even be street art. There's lots of different ways that our talent shines through in our towns. Let's have a look at our shortlisted finalists. First up is Impact Arts and West Kilbride Community Initiative. Together, these organisations have championed the Craft Town message in West Kilbride, with extensive work ranging from training programme for unemployed and underemployed makers and artists, which benefit hundreds of people, to the creation of studios, planting and maintaining gardens, and developing a nature reserve at a local quarry. Their plans for the future are equally as ambitious and extensive. Secondly, we have the Institute of Local Television, Sanquhar. This is a project where artistic creativity has triggered community regeneration, with work including the transformation of the town's former lemonade factory into a gallery, the conversion of an abandoned abattoir into a museum of model art, the establishment of Sanquhar Arts Festival, creation of Cultural Quarter, and the development of arts and cultural tourism. Finally, we turn to the Paisley First Mural Trail, which has been credited with breathing new life and colour into the town centre streets. Using local artists only, they reflect the proud past, present and future of Scotland's largest town. The creation involved a competition to find a local child to feature in it. Another was supported by the NHS to raise awareness about mental health. Okay, and time for the winner. Well, I'm going to give you a little clue. It's where I'm from. Yep, you've guessed it. The winner is Paisley. Now let's take a look at some of the artwork and learn a little bit more about the project.
I think the murals help people around the town centre re-engage with their history and take a source of pride in their heritage. The first mural in the trail featured the kingfisher, which was really great because it brought to life one of Paisley's unsung sons, Alexander Wilson, and helped bring his story more to the forefront as part of Paisley's history. Paisley has always been rich in culture with lots of talented buddies in the music and art worlds. This award pays testament to the creativity of our Paisley Town Centre buddies. I think it encourages young people to engage with their heritage and be curious, not just about Paisley's past, but also engage more with Paisley's present and hopefully inspire them for Paisley's future. There are more listed buildings in Paisley than anywhere else in Scotland outside Edinburgh, and it was great to be able to pay tribute to these beautiful buildings. There's some real hidden gems in Paisley Town Centre. Come along and have a look for yourself.
Well done again to Paisley Bid. Now, our towns are not only great places to work and visit, but amazing places in which to live too. As we embrace new visions for our town centres, housing is going to be an important part of that mix, with exciting projects across the country showing what can be achieved with innovative thinking and design. The finalists in our Town Centre Living Award, sponsored by 360 Architecture, are the Eskdale Foundation. After being given the chance to buy Langham's former police station, which had lain empty for 12 years, for just £1, the foundation spearheaded a community mission to not just reinvigorate the physical look of the building, but create 4 new affordable homes in the town centre. That work over a number of years included raising £600,000. Next, it's over to Fife Council. Through a spirit of collaboration in projects across Kirkcaldy, Cooper and Lochgelly, the authority has both addressed long-standing issues surrounding vacant sites with schemes which have given hope for the future. This has not only brought town centre buildings back into use, but provided affordable homes and supported wider regeneration. Renfrewshire Council. Through its vision for Paisley, the council has made the idea of town centre living a vital part of its regeneration, bringing together housing, business and leisure groups to the betterment of the community. The Abbey Quarter development has been central to this, with hundreds of residents moving there in recent years, with work including the redevelopment of a former department store. And the Town Centre Living Award is on its way to Langham, the Muckletown. Well done to the Eskdale Foundation. We can now hear a little more about their work.
There is a huge need for affordable housing across especially our rural communities, and by working with community organisations to determine what their specific local needs are, we're able to build an offer that is bespoke to each and every community, but equally an offer that gives them the best hope for repopulation, sustainability, and offers great opportunities for local people to live and work in areas that don't exist otherwise.
At the moment we're supporting an array of different projects. We're working with around about 20 communities across the south of Scotland at the moment, and the projects we're working on are a real mix. So we're working on new build, sustainable low energy housing. We're working on the redevelopment of a derelict hotel in Whithorn. We're working on the redevelopment of the former Bank of Scotland as housing in a community-run bunkhouse in Wigton. We've just completed this project in Langham.
Community-led housing is really important because what it does is ensures that community organisations and communities themselves are directing the needs that they've identified and delivering affordable housing in line with those needs. We've worked on a number of projects which have successfully allowed community organisations to develop offers that aren't available in other ways, shapes or forms. It's really important that people have got the voice that they need in that process and are being understood, and delivering projects like this shows that it's incredibly successful when communities take charge for themselves.
Well, I've brought you outside once again. Of course, got to make the most of the sunshine, and we're outside because it now is the Streets and Spaces Award, which is sponsored by the South of Scotland Enterprise. Now, we have stunning sunshine today, but we also have stunning villages and towns in Scotland, something we're so grateful for. And it needs people to come together, it needs people with imagination, collaboration, to come together with ideas to make our towns and villages look so stunning and stay great. Each of our finalists showcase what can be achieved when people work together. They are, here's your finalists, Dementia Friendly Prestwick, Falkirk Council and Isle of Bute Business Improvement District. Let's have a look. Dementia Friendly Prestwick has spearheaded the creation of a colourful addition to the town's seafront promenade. It led an alliance which helped secure changes which have made the area more inclusive and accessible, using dementia-friendly principles to secure new brightly coloured benches, new signage, public art and a road crossing which are enjoyed by the whole community. Falkirk Council's £2.2 million redevelopment of Zetland Park is gaining plaudits as work continues to ensure it becomes a vibrant place. Once complete, the project will deliver park improvements including a refurbished war memorial, a historic fountain, a new play area and pump track, a naturalised former boating pond, a stage, an outdoor event space and a rejuvenated rose garden. Boy, they're going to be busy. Meanwhile, in the Isle of Bute, work to create Ross's Alfresco Square has been hailed as a lifeline to hospitality businesses. It turned a picturesque area of the town into a vibrant area for open-air dining, which has proven incredibly important in supporting the island's economy over the past 2 years. Thousands of people have now enjoyed a meal there. You can thank me for the good weather. Well, as you can see, lots of hard work going on, but our Streets and Spaces Award goes to... It is Dementia Friendly Press Week. Well done to you guys. Now, we're going to turn to one of the trustees, Julie Twaddle, who will tell us a little bit more.
We have been doing health walks along Crieff Promenade for over 3 years now. It was one of the first projects that Dementia Friendly started, and it's a complete joy. We have people who come on our walks who maybe haven't had the confidence to walk on their own for a while, and because we're a safe pair of hands, they can walk with us and walk with confidence. So in terms of improving people's mobility, mental health, social isolation, what we've done to the promenade has made it more accessible and inclusive, and we see every day people enjoying the benches that we've put in. The poetic wind vanes that were a public art installation is a lovely bit of whimsy that were designed with Alec Finlay and some of our walkers in our group who have dementia. So to see this really positive, upbeat, uplifting project be so warmly embraced by the community is a complete joy.
Well, of course, recently the focus of the world has been on Scotland, given that we've hosted the COP26 summit here. It's great, isn't it, that world leaders have come all over to Scotland to see the beauty of our country, but not just that. They got to enjoy some dry weather as well, which is pretty good, isn't it? Now, every one of us can make a difference to that. You know, I've been lucky enough over the years to travel around the country and just see the incredible work that's being done by big industry, but also by local communities, villages and towns, people coming together even just to clean up the streets. And it's great to have that work because I think it's the small changes that together make a massive difference. And it is great, the tremendous work which is underway to make our communities cleaner, greener and more sustainable. As the finalists in our Climate Town Award, sponsored by Historic Environment Scotland and Collective Architecture demonstrate. Let's meet them. Greener Kirkcaldy has since 2010 helped its community to save more than 130,000 tonnes of carbon with initiatives including reducing energy use and waste and growing food. 40,000 people have taken part in its projects, with work including a community bike shop to encourage greener travel and improvements to green spaces. Leap Greater Glasgow is a charity providing befriending services, a free handy person service, activities to people aged 50 and over. It also operates clothing swap shop boutiques to extend the life of clothing and stop them from going to landfill. Revolve Recycle is said to be unique in reducing waste while promoting swapping, sharing, mending and making. Its work involves operating 3 swap shops as well as other initiatives. Nairn Business Improvement District, Nairn Community and Arts Centre, Green Hive and Nairn Bowling Club have formed an alliance to spearhead the town's drive to net zero. Together they have taken action to show the difference that the likes of installing solar power, energy efficient windows and eliminating single-use plastics, as well as encouraging the use of electric vehicles. They are now supporting other local businesses and organisations to reduce their carbon footprint. And here we go in the lovely sunshine, our Climate Town Award. It's heading north to Nairn, a fantastic example of teamwork. And they told us how their work helps in the community.
Okay, so we are in the community centre, a community and arts centre in the centre of Nairn, which is a fantastic building that's used by over 50 local organisations with 70,000 people, a footfall per year before COVID. But the example that we are setting by improving the sustainability of this building is noticed by the whole community. The Bowling Club, the Community Centre and Green Hive have all worked with Zero Waste Scotland to reduce their carbon footprint through things like solar panels and energy saving light bulbs and double glazing. Yes, the EV point here at the community centre is really important as a resource for people with electric vehicles who are passing through and live locally. The things that we've been able to achieve around Nairn this year have been stunning. You know, we've put in new signposts, new maps of cycle paths and active travel, which has been really good achievement, and really enhancing the environment of Nairn to make it much more attractive for locals and visitors alike. I think Nairn is really a great place to live and work and visit.
Now for news of a Judges Special Award. We're joined by Scotland's Towns Partnership Chief Officer, Phil Prentice.
It's now time for the Scotland Loves Local Judges Special Category Award. It's been a very difficult 20 months for everybody. One of the key positive driving forces behind recovery has been the Scotland Loves Local brand and campaign. There hasn't been a better time to choose local, and with post-COVID environment, net zero ambition, shopping locally and choosing locally is going to become a much more embedded behaviour in the future. There hasn't been a better time to support and choose local. Businesses have pivoted, adopted, they've become flexible, safety protocols are in place. They've made it easier for us to do that. So we must consider choosing local. Visit the local shop in your high street, support your local attractions, your events, your destinations, your hospitality businesses. It's easy for us to do that now. And where you don't have that confidence, you can also use the online option. Another key way to support local is through the gift card. Scotland Loves Local gift card has now been launched nationally with the backing of Scottish Government, the vast majority of local authorities, a growing number of sponsors and corporates, as well as the third sector and charities. This is a very simple, straightforward way to reward a friend, to gift a relative, to reward volunteers, with the full knowledge that all of that money will be spent within the local economy. It's GPS tracked to the local authority area where the card relates to, and you cannot go online to the online channels to spend that money there. So you have the full knowledge that you will see community wealth building, you will be able to reduce carbon footprint, and you build in security and food supply, stronger, resilient supply chains at the local level, and you create and secure employment. So it's the right thing to do. We are proud that we've been able to launch this with Scottish Government money and to have such an early interest and uptake. But we wouldn't have been able to get to where we've gotten to just now without the support of Pathfinders. So without further ado, I would like to call out East Ayrshire Council and the Kilmarnock Business Association. In the summer of 2020, whenever we were in another lockdown, they got together and discussed how can we build economic recovery sustainably, how can we support vulnerable within our community, how can we support our families in need. And they came up with the East Ayrshire gift card. 4,500 cards were issued to those most in need. £20 was loaded onto the card, and that money was all spent in the local economy, every penny. The programme was so successful that the council then launched another 4,500 cards, this time with £50 on the card. And again, all of that was spent in the local economy, on food, on essentials, on gifts for kids coming up to Christmas time, giving the families a much needed boost, but also supporting local businesses who are the main beneficiaries of all of that money. So I think you can join me in congratulating East Ayrshire Council and the Kilmarnock Business Association, who are the winners of this Special Judges Award category for Scotland Loves Local. Well done.
Thanks, Phil, and congratulations to Kilmarnock Business Association and East Ayrshire Council. As we've heard already, the places we call home have never been more important to us. And as the drive towards greater localism continues, along with our response to the climate emergency, they'll become even more important in the years to come. Driving change, of course, requires strong leadership, which our Place Leader Award, sponsored by Message Matters, celebrates. The finalists are Malcolm Thomas Harley, Jackie Shearer and Andrew Spence. Malcolm Thomas Harley from Hamilton, our town business improvement district, has spearheaded a new market, which has brought in more than 5,000 extra people into the town. Working with businesses and performers, it has been estimated that the work has generated £100,000 for the local economy, with great feedback from residents and visitors. Jackie Shearer is a manager of Postle Park Business Improvement District in North Glasgow. Supported by her direction, an alliance of businesses, public authorities, a social landlord and politicians has come together as part of a pilot project which is setting about showing what the power of collaboration can deliver, with a bid which combines a business and community model to revitalise the area. Oban Business Improvement District is widely regarded as a strong example, and since the appointment in 2017, Chief Executive Andrew Spence has been credited by members with bringing a fresh approach to how it is managed and organised, ensuring that it is always at the forefront of tourism and commerce in the town, including playing a significant role in the area's response to the coronavirus pandemic. All of our finalists, of course, are extremely worthy contenders who are making a very real difference in their community, so well done to all of you. Judges said that this was a very difficult decision, but the Place Leader Award goes to Jackie Shearer. Well done, Jackie. Here's what she said as we asked her earlier about the work she does.
In 2019, a number of traders came together and they wanted to lift the look and feel of the street. And with support from NG Homes and some other third sector and community partners, they approached Scotland's Towns Partnership. And then before you knew it, they had seed corn funding and the emerging bid was established. Yep, so over the last year or so, we have been developing a number of projects. The big one is a shopfront refurb scheme which has been supported through the Town Centre Action Fund, and that's kitting out a new shopfront for about 12 units. We're going back to a heritage themed Saracen Street, and it's really nice to see all those original features be revealed. We also installed some street planters. We listened to what traders were wanting on the street, along with other people who use the street, visitors, local residents and so on. And that thing about just lifting the look and feel through flowers and plants that could change as the seasons change. So we made some specially made planters. Again, looking back to the heritage of Saracen Street, like something that people are really keen to do. Our brand is remaking Saracen, so you'll see that everywhere, and that's kind of etched onto the planters. I think winning the award for Postle Park Business Improvement District goes beyond the improvement district itself, and it's an award for the wider community. I think everyone would really benefit and get value and pleasure from knowing that their area had won such an award.
Congratulations once again to Jackie. So we now move on to our final award of the afternoon. High Street Hero, sponsored by Spar Scotland. Everyone needs a hero in their life at some point, don't they? But of course, not all of them wear masks and fly about with capes on, drive to the rescue in an Aston Martin. Although it does sound pretty cool though, doesn't it? Sometimes it's the simplest of acts which make the greatest impact. The small gestures that, done time and again, make a huge difference to our lives. Our judges faced a difficult decision here. All of the nominations we received for the High Street Hero Award demonstrated so much of what's great about our communities, not least the determination to make a difference. That's epitomised in our winner. Brian Beveridge has not only ensured the survival of a high street business, but has gone above and beyond to be there for his customers in town when they needed him the most. Let's hear why his community has hailed him a fantastic hero.
I was delighted to nominate Brian Beveridge for the Scotland Loves Local High Street Hero Award. Brian has been a real hero during the pandemic. He had just taken over the shop as a new owner on the 1st of March, and although he had been in the shop as a manager prior to that, he was really in at the deep end. He's done a fantastic job supporting the local community. It's been hard for folk to be closed, but I think it was even harder for folk to remain open during the pandemic. And not only was he open and was he busy, he set up a delivery system delivering to all around the surrounding area and really became a lifeline for the whole of the community. His shop is fantastic. It's gone from strength to strength. It almost has a deli feel to it, and he has fabulous products. He buys local and he serves the local people, so I was really delighted to nominate him for this award.
Well, what a fantastic winner, and I'm delighted to say that we're now joined by Brian. Here's what he had to say after we broke the news to him.
Morning, Jim. Personally, delighted. I can't say enough, and I've got a good, really support concerning my staff. If my staff weren't involved or bought into what we're doing, it'd just been chaos. It wouldn't have worked. I couldn't be more prouder because at the time last year, when we were open, the last thing I was thinking about was this. You know, it's great to be recognised, but I think as a town, as my staff, it's you're only as good as the people behind you. I know I'm at the front, I know it's my name above the door, which is fantastic. I managed to abuse it and beat the golf a couple of times when the weather's been good. It's great to see my way at the golf, it's been fantastic. I've worked all over Fife, to be honest, and they've got confidence in what they're buying. And we've managed to hold on to that. We've increased the customer count by about 25%. When you're flying yourself, flying solo, it's hard. Every butcher, every business that's flying the last couple of years really had a hard time. There's a lot of hard luck stories, I understand that, but we've done exceptionally well, and going forward, we've got a lot of plans for the new year, for next year. But getting nominated and winning is, it's magic. I just can't say enough, it's just magic.
Well, isn't it great to hear from Brian there? It's not all just sausages and bacon. Now, I don't know about you, but it's hard not to be inspired by all that we've seen and heard during these Scotland Loves Local Awards. We are a nation of towns, and the people who make them as special as they are will be the key to driving a better future for us all. I'm sure I speak for everyone that's watching when I say congratulations to every single person that's nominated. I've been here many times where I've been nominated and I haven't won, and yeah, but it's great just to be nominated. And as we reflect on their achievements, thanks to our sponsors and judges, without whose support we would not have been able to shine the spotlight on our finalists. These amazing people and places have done their communities and the country proud. It's been great being with you this afternoon. Take care.